Would you believe me if I said the biggest shock of this NFL offseason didn't happen on the field? It happened in a boardroom and on a phone. Micah Parsons is leaving Dallas. The Packers traded for him and have already agreed to a massive new deal. ESPN.com, imagine the scene. A locker room that smells like turf and adrenaline, a kid who used to make coordinators mutter his name into every game plan suddenly packing a bag that'll ride the train north. Fans are yelling into group chats, analysts are refreshing trade trackers, and 1,000 micro memories. That sack against a rival team, that comeback he forced with sheer chaos, are suddenly framed as the Dallas years. Acme Packing Company. So what actually happened? The Packers sent veteran defensive tackle Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks to Dallas, and Parsons signed a 4-year contract reported around $188 million. The deal, with large guarantees, reshapes how teams will value elite defensive talent going forward. Acme Packing Company. Now let's not treat this like a spreadsheet only. This is human theater. Parsons didn't just change helmets, he changed narratives. Dallas converted an immediate, violent defensive engine into future options and a veteran voice inside the locker room. Green Bay spent picks and money to buy an identity and a near-instant upgrade on the edge. Neither move is clearly virtuous or foolish. They are choices on different clocks. Acme Packing Company. Here's the fun twist the rumor mill almost forgot to mention. While Green Bay and others circled, the Las Vegas Raiders reportedly checked in about Parsons during the kerfuffle, a call that tells you the whole league was dialing. Even a team with Max Crosby on the books flirted with the idea of pairing 2 generational rushers. That call mattered, not because it necessarily meant a trade, but because it signaled intent and sent a message around the league. Instagram. Let me slow this down and put a human lens on the calculus. For the Cowboys, 2 first-rounders are more than picks. Their flexibility inside a salary cap world that can make or break a dynasty. For the Packers, Parsons is a multiplier. He doesn't just chase quarterbacks, he forces offenses to alter game plans, freeing teammates to make plays they might not otherwise get. The short-term excitement of plug-and-play dominance versus the long-term discipline of reload and rebuild is the exact tension that drives front offices crazy and fans lunatic. Acme Packing Company. If you live on social media, you've seen the jokes, but there's heartbreak too. Fans don't trade the sound of their own cheers. That clip of a sack you rewatch when you need a high five won't vanish because the jersey color changes. Those memories are cultural currency. They sustain fandom through losses, trades, and new seasons. While the Parsons saga was unraveling, another subplot was playing out. Rookie quarterbacks learning that college fame doesn't come with a professional cheat code. Achilles Smith, a former NFL quarterback, looked at Shedeur Sanders' tape and said bluntly that the tape is clear as day, that certain habits that played in college simply don't fly in the pros. It's a reminder that film rooms care about pattern and pocket presence more than highlight reels. Yahoo Theithao. And if you think the market only affects stars and rookies separately, think again. Travis Kelce, fresh off life-changing news of his own engagement, urged the Browns to put Sanders in and give the people what they want, arguing the excitement around Sanders would bring eyes and energy. Kelce's comment is a neat counterpoint. Fans crave spectacle, veterans crave results, and organizations have to balance both. Fox News. So what's the lesson here for the person scrolling at lunch? First, the NFL is a market and a theater at the same time. A trade is both an actuarial decision and a headline designed to flip public mood. Second, tape still matters. You can buy a superstar now or build with picks. You can celebrate a highlight or grind through corrections in a film room. Both paths produce outcomes, but on different timelines. Acme Packing Company. Let's get small for a second. The micro scenes you won't see in an ESPN graphic. Picture the kid who wore Parsons' number to school. Picture the coach who now has to rework blitz packages. The rookie who watched Sanders take a step back instead of stepping into a sack. The front office executive drafting a plan of action with a whiteboard and a clock. These are the tiny beats that add up. Identity shifts, ego checks, and the slow work of rebuilding trust with fans. And there's an ugly truth that's also honest. The market sets benchmarks. When a franchise hands out a record guarantee or swaps multiple first round assets, other teams adjust their offers, agents recalibrate, and negotiations get louder. That's how one move ripples into many decisions in the weeks that follow. So, where does this leave us? The Cowboys sold today for tomorrow. The Packers bought an instant jolt of elite production. The Raiders called to say they were listening. Shedeur Sanders is being graded by people who watch every frame. And veterans like Travis Kelce are reminding everyone that spectacle matters too. All of it is true at once. If you walk away with one line to drop into the group chat, make it this: you can trade a jersey and you can trade a number, but you can't trade the Sundays someone made you believe. Micah Parsons will wear a different helmet, Shedeur Sanders will keep fighting for reps, and the league will keep making stories that are messy, human, and impossible to stop watching. Acme Packing Company. Can you imagine a celebrity tight end telling an entire franchise what to do? Travis Kelce did exactly that. On his podcast, he urged the Browns to put him in, coach, saying the world wants to see Shedeur Sanders play and that he'd love to see it. Fox News. This matters because the Browns just finalized their QB room. Joe Flacco is the starter, Dillon Gabriel earned the backup role, and Shedeur Sanders is the third-string emergency option. That decision came after an all-encompassing evaluation in camp and preseason reps. ESPN. The tape is the tension here. Sanders flashed. He completed 17 passes for 152 yards and 2 touchdowns in one preseason outing, but he also had inconsistent moments, and analysts pointed to pocket presence and timing as areas needing NFL polish. Gabriel's steadier, quicker reads in camp gave coaches confidence that he's the safer short-term option. Yahoo Sports, Kelce's message isn't about X's and O's, it's about demand and momentum. He framed it as, give the people what they want, arguing Sanders would draw eyes, excitement, and energy, even if the Browns insist roster decisions are purely about winning football games. Social media and national pundits split between fandom and pragmatic evaluation. Bleacher Report, what's next for Shedeur? He remains on the roster to develop, but his path requires daily improvement in pocket mechanics, quicker processing, and consistency against pro defenses. If he cleans those up, his opportunity will come, either in Cleveland or elsewhere, because NFL teams always covet talented QBs who can grow into the job. ESPN final thought, Kelce's shout-out turned a coaching decision into a national storyline, but ultimately the Browns must balance hype with readiness. Fans want a hero. Coaches want a quarterback who wins. Which side are you on? Excitement or patience? Drop your take below. Can you imagine a celebrity tight end telling an entire franchise what to do? Travis Kelce did exactly that. On his podcast, he urged the Browns to put him in, coach, saying the world wants to see Shedeur Sanders play and that he'd love to see it. Fox News. This matters because the Browns just